Turin is the capital city of Piedmont in northern Italy, known for its refined architecture and cuisine. The Alps rise to the northwest of the city. Piazza Castello in the heart of Turin. The history of the square began in the second half of the 14th century, when the princes of Savoia-Asciania decided to demolish the blocks near the castle and the city walls. Palazzo Madama e Casaforte degli Acciajuti. It was the first senate of the Italian kingdom, and takes its traditional name from the embellishments it received under two queens of the House of Savoy. In the center Palazzo Madama stands, that is the ancient castle from which the square takes its name. The Royal Palace of Turin, Palazzo Reale di Torino, is a 16th-century palace constructed for the House of Savoy, which ruled Turin until the late 19th century. Originally built in the 16th century, it was modernized by Christine Marie of France in the 17th century with designs by Baroque architect Filippo Juvera. The lavishly decorated rooms feature 17th-century carved furniture, tapestries, paintings, and frescoes. Piazza San Carlo, the most beautiful square of Turin that preserves the harmonious and uniform 17th-century look given by the royal architect Carlo di Castellamont, 1642–1650. In the center you can see the equestrian statue of Emanuele Filiberto, in the act of sheath the sword after the Battle of San Quintino in 1557, one of the most significant statues of the early 19th century. The short side of the square, to the southwest, is bordered by the facades of almost twin churches of Santa Cristina and San Carlo. Piazza Vittorio Veneto. Another beautiful place to see in Turin, the Vittorio Veneto Square. It offers a very nice view of the river, the Gran Madre di Dio Church and Turin's surrounding hills. It's also the ideal place for an aperitivo or a meal in one of the good restaurants located on the square. Piazza Vittorio Veneto, a favorite Turin hangout. The large square is a popular venue for parades and concerts. Admire the 19th century buildings that line the square. Catholic Parish Church Gran Madre di Dio. This church is located on the east side of the Po River immediately across the Ponte Vittorio Emanuele from the central section of Turin. The church was built between 1827 and 1831 to thank God for the triumphant return to Turin of King Victor Emmanuel of Sardinia, later King Victor, in 1814. On the frieze below the pediment is a Latin inscription, Ordo, Pop Vovsk, Tavrans, OB, Advent, reaches the nobility and people of Turin, dedicate this, on account of the return of the king. In front of the church, in the middle of a busy intersection, stands a statue of King Victor sculpted by Giuseppe Gagini. This statue was originally commissioned by King Charles Albert of Sardinia and was intended to be placed in Genoa. In 1885 it was placed in its present location. The statue stands on a high pedestal, the base of which is decorated with bronze garlands and the crowned arms of Savoy. On the front of the pedestal is an Italian inscription. Molentanariana, an architectural landmark of the city of Turin. It was initially conceived as a synagogue, before being bought by the municipality of Turin and made into a monument to national unity. Planned and begun by architect Alessandro Antonelli in 1863, it was only completed in 1889. With a height of 167.5 meters, it was the tallest brick building in Europe at the time. The panoramic lift was inaugurated in 1961, during the celebrations for the centenary of the Italian unification, and it was renovated in 1999. Piazza Carlo Emanuele II. In the area bordered by Via Po, Via Roma, Corso Vittorio and the Po, you will find a series of buildings and a small square very dear to the hearts of the Turin people. Piazza Carlo Emanuele II, probably the square which best represents this area. In the center of the square, there is a monument of Cavour, which shows the famous statesman holding a sheet of paper in his hand engraved with the famous phrase "A free church in a free state." Turin's Borgo Medievale, or medieval village, was opened in 1884 to mark the occasion of the Italian General Exhibition. It offers a reconstruction of late medieval buildings and decorations carried out on the basis of strict philological criteria. A number of intellectuals, historians, artists and technicians took part in the project, which was coordinated by the architect Alfredo de Andrade. The designers drew inspiration from over 40 sites and retraced the artistic and architectural features of 15th-century buildings throughout Piedmont and the Aosta Valley, some of which have now disappeared. Located in the Parco del Valentino, a large park running along the banks of the Po, the Borgo Medievale is unquestionably a popular attraction at all times of year. The village includes streets, squares, fountains, fortifications, decorations and frescoes, real houses and artisans' workshops, where visitors can watch metal and paper being worked and buy artifacts of various kinds. The Rocca or fortress is the high point of the tour through the village. It is a fortified aristocratic residence whose rooms are richly decorated with furniture, accessories and fabrics that reflect the lifestyle of the nobility in 15th century Piedmont. A more recent addition, since 1998, are the medieval gardens featuring plants that would have been grown at the time, as well as local botanical species. The plants were identified through extensive bibliographical and iconographic research and are now cared for using organic methods. The Borgo Medievale has become a very special visitor attraction and museum that responds to a number of requirements: research, popular history, entertainment, tourist attraction. Moreover, a range of events is offered that reflect these different visitor categories.